den gombe shablande de dado sanjo julem jinje lapshin toje je ninje mbasene ja sem do do ba jinji lo mi chi jinji parando tu so sanje kunyango nya rasa jogongo so da zaba zaba lama nala goja ze yende sanje kunda yana ja gade sanje le jala jinji zaba lama so ande da son to lo na jala jo na lo do ba je ba jinji lo deme o za tu je jengo do ma je chi jengo ba je da wa dan je se ba kunye chi chi je ne men de gon ren jengo ja ze. Good afternoon. Uh, as a I think last week we talked, the Lord Pamoduba said to the Lord Jidasumgun, um, every day when we're practicing Dharma, make sure um, not missing all the fivefold path of the Mahamudra. Always be with any practice we do. So fivefold path of the Mahamudra is in the Lord Jidasumgun said in the Kunjik. Fivefold path of the Mahamudra is like a carpenter's tool. You know, carpenter need a complete tool to make the object is perfect. If you're missing one of a tool, and that part of the perfection is going to be missed. So that reason, we need bodhicitta to generate the motivation of the bodhicitta. Then we have to protect our self and all the appearance as from the ordinary to transform to the deity, and that is through the deity yoga practice. And when we practicing deity, we always need support and blessing by the guru. Without the relying guru, is like what call no without the guru is like a no what called the family continuing air, no air. So like king with no heir, you know, when king is died and the lineage is gone. So without the guru is like that, no continuing. And Mahamudra itself is the actually part of the I can say deity yoga. There's called the completion stage, and the completion stage, especially if you look the Chakra text, and there's a Tumu practice. And Mahamudra is actually experiencement of the Tumu, or expression of experience of the Tumu. Can say yeah? Yeah, that is actually Mahamudra mean. I don't think so. In India, there's a particular way to teach. Only we can find. So that way, look when you look at Mahamudra text, in Indian text, is only those Vajra songs. Vajra song of what they realize is not about the instruction. Yeah, you're not going to find any Indian text wrote instruction to how to meditate Mahamudra stage by stage. Only in Tibet. So it's originally Mahamudra is a part of the Tumu meditation. And when you meditate the Tumu, and there's a certain degree of experience come through that experience too, and you expressing what you experience when you meditate on the Tumu. But later, I think Midiba, when he came and he reviewed the treasure of Uttaratantra, and because of that, I think since then he created the Mahamudra as a Sudra tradition. Sudra tradition Mahamudra. Based, I think it's supposed to be based on the Uttaratantra. So if you read the Uttaratantra, how to express, it's the same as a Mahamudra, how to explain the nature of a mind. Exactly comes same way. So those are really related each other. So those that is a so that is the part of the actually meditation of the completion stage of the Mahamudra essay. Then end of the practice we have to dedicate it. So those now here in this first part is a talk about those five paths of Mahamudra. Second part is a teaching on the how to free from the obstacles. So in this text, it divided into three obstacles: cause or foundation obstacles, path obstacles, and result obstacles. So cause or foundation obstacle is a bodhicitta. So it's a really simple way to say it. When your bodhicitta is not good, if you don't have good bodhicitta or your bodhicitta is shaking, where you need to focus actually. No, loving kindness, compassion. And said, when you have really strong loving kindness, compassion, then one ceremony, within the one ceremony, you can receive the Bodhisattva vow. As and also explain here so how bodhicitta is important. I think if you read that Adisha's life story, they're saying when Adisha calling his lama's name, he joined at the hand, at the heart, and respect, show respect, all his lama. But when come to the Silimba, Dharmakiti, when come to the Silimba Dharmakiti, and he, remove his head and really bow deeply, especially he respect to the Silimba Dharmakiti. Reason is a Adisha received the bodhicitta, not just a vow, instruction from Silimba. He spent, I think, 12 years in Indonesia, Adisha. For us, when we receive one ceremony, we say, oh, I have a bodhisattva vow. For him, it took like 12 years. So, make sense? So that is, this is so that way I ask actually a first day question is what does really bodhicitta mean? And how we can tell I have a bodhicitta. So I think if you say, if you're loving kindness and compassion toward to everyone equally, you can say, yes, I do have a bodhicitta when you receive the bodhisattva ceremony. So bodhicitta is wonderful, really beautiful. All Buddha's teaching is a part of the bodhicitta, but if our bodhicitta is not strong enough, I think where we focus is loving kindness and compassion. That is I'm not telling, the Lord Jesus is saying. That is how to, what is said in how to be what called free from the obstacle of the bodhicitta is the focus on the loving kindness and compassion. And always, I think we talk this on, when we talk meditate and love, for example, for the beginner, if you are a beginner practitioner, I'm not talking about the beginner mean you just start Buddhism this life. Beginner means some people maybe have a many lifetimes. So in this life, when they hear, immediately, easily can connect. When somebody said, you have to meditate loving kindness, all sentient beings, you can feel immediately. That means you are not beginner. You already have many lifetimes experience. But when somebody said you have to meditate all mother sentient beings, and you become clueless on that, and your mind is completely blind, then I think better is to start just one individual who is the kindest to you. Meditate on that person. That could be your father, your mother, your child, your spouse, your pet, or whoever. Anyone, you can easily, I think this is what I'm saying is at the beginning, we have to try to find what is the easiest way you can meditate. you know, we have to find which is easiest way can introduce yourself. Like this is not directly related, but when Nagarjuna was teaching to the one old monk, I mean old man, how to meditate the samatha, and first Nagarjuna said, "Meditate on me," and the old man said, "I cannot meditate on you. When I close eyes, never come you." And Nagarjuna asked, "Okay, when you close your eyes, what comes in your mind or you know in your vision?" And he said, "I only see the buffalo." So then Nagarjuna said, "Okay, now meditate on the buffalo." So he can concentrate on the buffalo really clearly. So he was meditating in the cave in the buffalo, and at some point he feel he had home. Really, one day now come out from the cave, he said, "I couldn't come because my horn stuck in the cave." So Nagarjuna said, "Okay, now meditate your hand as a saw and cut the horn." So he did and came out. This is a true story. So later he died and he became born as a human being and then became disciple of and a really famous master called Nagabuddhi. Yes, he was a really famous sudden teachings. He's so really famous from the Nagarjuna's disciple called the Nagabuddhi. His previous life. So what I'm saying is here, everything is the same. I think from the beginning, we have to use which one is the simplest for us, easiest. Same thing as the loving kindness too. What makes us easier to meditate loving kindness? Then from there to extend it. So that is the how to remove the obstacle of the what called cause. Here saying cause or ground is the same. Then the obstacle of the path. What is the main obstacle to our path to liberation? Yes. Huh? Nature? Hatred? Yes. Yes. That's that is one of the four obstacles. This called the afflicted emotion, obstacle of afflicted emotion. There's four maras. Yeah, we always talk four maras. Yeah, Mar, no, mara of the skanda, mara of the afflicted emotion, mara of the son of the god, and mara of the now, huh? Death. Yes, Lord of the Death. So first, yesterday we discussed what is the mara of the skanda mean, five aggregate. Longest we have this five aggregate, we experience the suffering. Our suffering is not end. So we normally talk three kind of suffering, yeah? Suffering, suffering of change, all pervasive suffering. Five skanda is the all pervasive suffering. And also, we are continuing in the samsara long as we have this five aggregate. This is like how five aggregate hold together as the attachment. Make sense? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. No, this is, I mean, I don't want to go to that side because basically, after the first Bhumi, Bodhisattva, they no longer have a body like us. Their, body built by gross element is already dissolved. They have wisdom body, so that reason they can fly, they can walk through the wall, everything. But I don't want to go there right now. So we just talking about the body itself. So, but other one is under the tree, and this is a little bit different. Talking about uh, so main point is a five aggregate. I'm not saying it's always a five skanda is wrong, not good. Like Shantideva said, your worst enemy is your own body. But without this body, you cannot achieve nirvana. You need use this body as a like stairway to get to the nirvana. So, so that way, taking care of the body, he said. You know, not always talking about now, because of we ordinary way to think about this body, and based on this body, we have those afflicted emotion. You know, attachment, aversion, hatred. So, what is the best way to liberate from that obstacles of the attaching to the body? That's the day before yesterday we talked. Best way to liberating from the attaching from the body is a deity yoga, generating the deity yoga practice. And if your deity yoga is really not stable, here said, to do recitation mantra with the three what called the you look the page 48. It says as a factor for the stage of the generation, perform the Vajra recitation regularly. Vajra recitation means just basically talking about the recitation of a mantra. So here is both mentioned, generation stage and the completion stage of the recitation of a mantra that help us to protect from the Mara of the skanda. I think key point is here now how to free ourselves from the Mara of the skanda. Can say yeah, Mara of the skandhas. So generation stage and completion stage. Key to generation stage is you need that competent of you are the deity. It's called the divine pride. I am the deity. So when we say I am the deity, talking about the ordinary I. Ordinary I is not deity. We know clearly. You know, this is talking about the I of my nature. My nature is deity. When we come, our nature is no different than Buddha. We all have that. So that reason I am the deity. That is a divine pride. That is the kind of a key to how to generation. And completion stage resides in the mantra. Mainly focus on the seed syllable. Each deity have their own seed syllable. Seed syllable is the wisdom awareness, nature of your mind. So from that to then here said how to transform the suffering of a body or aggregate. It says suffering resulting from the raping of the past karma is the Mara of the aggregate, king of the cruelly, though the conquer it, yeah? Conqueror conquer it. The jumble of a fish, flesh and bone are the eight supreme cemetery, a body, a bird, okay, filled with the daga and dagini. Now, I think I'm going to explain you is here. If you know, for example, like a high mandala, that's all explaining here now. If you don't know, then don't pay attention too much here. You know, mandala is like inside is a central mandala and deity and they did retinue, and outside there's a palace, there's like a 8 cemetery, 8 what called the tree, 8 yogi, and 8 water, and lots of things outside the mandala. 40, yeah, 49. So that's just talking about those all. So here, inseparable of the emptiness and compassion are raising the mandala of the palace of the deity. When you realize it is becoming transformed to the mandala of the deity, when you now realize it's becoming aggregate. So that is. And also, I mean, then it's becoming like a worldly cemetery and those all. So, same thing as a mandala have, for example, I think 8 cemetery. One understand is the union of the emptiness and the compassion. One not understand it is the cemetery. And there's in the mandala you see the fire circle. When you understand, it is a wisdom. When you understand, not understand, it is just fire. In the mandala, and then there's 8 waters. If you realize, this is the compassion. If you not realize, just water of compassion, and there's 8 tree. If you realize, they are the representative of the enlightenment. Enlightenment, yeah, tree of enlightenment. If not, just a regular tree. And there's called the 8 field protector or 8 direction protector, yeah? Shinjongye, field protector. So those are, if you not realize, they are just ordinary local deity. If you realize they are past 6 Buddha, Sanje Namsi, Zuduru Tamjegyo, Kowaji, Wusum. And present Shakyamuni, future Maitreya. So those are the 8 Buddha. 8 field protector of the local deity are so that is what inseparable. They are 8 the inconceivable Lord of the yogi, virtues of the beginning, middle, and end. The self-arising, stainless nature of the mind manifests in the form of 8 stupa. There's 8 stupa. And said, from 8 cloud of the Bodhicitta, 8 stream of the vast compassion flow upon 8 great Bodhi tree of incredible marvel appearing 8 Lord of Muni. Muni means the Buddha. Muni fully surrounded by 8 Naga, such as Gau and like, God and the Naga, such as Indra and the like, and Yaksha and Kinara, raping all migratory being without exception, the aggregate of suffering transform in as a transform. Oh, it's astounding. So my reading make you bored, but meaning is those all mandala, what we visualize within us. Why we can say this one is because those all mandala is what we realize, yeah? We have to realize. That's called the nirvana, realization. quality of enlightenment. The quality of enlightenment must be permanent, not impermanent. If quality of enlightenment is a permanent, have to be primordially. Because if quality of enlightenment is the cause, it cannot be permanent. So that way, it have to be from the ground of sentient being. When it have ground of the sentient being, but it's not functioning, when it is made functioning by the path, and actually it become a functional when it is resolved. It's like a seed. Seed have all the quality, but if the seed is not meet with the condition, it is not going to give any result. You can have really healthy apple seed. Long as apple seed is not meet with the soil, water, temperature, everything, it's remain going to seed continually. Nothing going to happen. So same thing as a sentient being is as a ground is like the same as a apple seed, and that apple seed is a meet condition of two accumulation. Accumulation of merit and accumulation of wisdom. In the Vajrayana tradition, is used as a two, what called the Sanskrit word is used as evang, wisdom and method. When they meet with those two, wisdom and method, on the path, then they have a result of two kaya. Result of two kaya is called the wisdom kaya and what called the rupa kaya and dharma kaya. Rupa kaya manifests from the compassion of a method. Dharma kaya manifests from the wisdom. Make sense? So that is the result. So that way, here, what Lord Jidasung is saying is, we have this called the obstacle called the aggregate. How to you can transform to the aggregate from the obstacle to result is through the deity yoga. Deity yoga have a principal deity, retinue, and palace, and all the outside the palace, all those different, those all part of the this bodhicitta, buddhi mind or whatever. So part of the enlightened quality. Different name. You not get?
That was a lot. I can't even gather myself to ask a question.
Yes? That's a good question. Tomo is maybe, I'm not sure it's good to talk much because this is a kind of a, I can say, when you meditate, love, what called compassion and emptiness, union of the compassion and emptiness, you have such some kind of experience. That experience, as expressed as a from Tumu to, I can say it's easy way, simple way, what called the Tumu to Mahamudra. That union of the emptiness and compassion is that's the Tumu, and that from those two you will have some kind of experience. That is expressed as a Mahamudra. I think best way I can say that. Yes.
The mandala either we as the mandala or
No.
reflective
No.
emotion.
Mandala is body.
Mandala is
Yes.
okay.
There's a two kind of. The universe is one way is aggregate as a manifest as a form of the whole mandala, or that mandala is also within our this five aggregate. So that is saying as a when you realize it's becoming mandala of the deity's pure land, include your aggregate as an enlightened body. When you now realize, and it's become as a ordinary. So, like for example, when our mind is pure, we see as a enlightened mandala palace. When our mind is not pure, we see as a cemetery. So it's the same as in the Sutra tradition said, if you not have a pure perception, world is suffering, not clean, all those samsaric what we describe. When you have a pure perception, this is the pure land. That is an example, is a really simple ways. You know someone, okay, somebody. From 2010 to, or maybe from, and then whenever you're 2000, you know that person, and you fall in love with that person. So whenever you meet that person, it brings you to in the pure land. Every time you meet that person, okay. In 2013, you got problem between you two. Then you start hating each other. And every time you meet that person after the 2013, it will bring you into hell. Make sense? So that person is not giving you hell or heaven. Your perception making that. So same things here saying, as Lord Jidasungha said, when we have a pure perception, it becomes a deity's mandala. When we don't have a pure perception, it becomes an aggregate. When you see the deity's mandala, it gives you great joy. When you see the aggregate, it gives you suffering. So main point is if you want to be cut attachment from the body of your aggregate, best method to how to cut attachment is a generation stage and a completion stage of the deity yoga. I think this is not really complicated. Those two are the method. Okay. And the rest of like eight cloud or water, and those are the part of the mandala. So that way I said, if you're not familiar, just forget right now. It's not important. But it's when you receiving like a Jagar Sambhavara or some those high yoga tantric teachings, and it will come in there. But it's not that much important as a focus. Main point is here, what saying is our body as our enemy, which give us all suffering and become an obstacle to liberation. So what is the antidote for free from this obstacle as the deity yoga practice of the generation stage. And if your generation stage is not stable, what help is the completion stage of recitation of a mantra. Recitation of a mantra help you to build more stable of your generation stage. Yeah? Okay. Completion stage is all recitation of mantra, all those are part of the completion stage, not only dissolution. You know, I think I can say, for example, like Chenresi practice, we normally do. Chenresi practice from the Om Subhaushita, Sarvadama Subhaushita, from there to until the offering, Ayalokeshwara Saparivar Argambandi, that is a generation stage. After that offering, Then start the completion stage, the recitation mantra. Completion stage with a sign and without sign. Recitation of mantra and those all are completion stage with a sign. And dissolution is a completion stage without sign. Okay. Yes. Yes. Um, I think whatever you practicing, use that method. For example, if you practicing bodhicitta, is here mentioned five in this. I'm sorry, this mentioned page 42. There's a what called the five reason. With this five reason, you meditate the loving kindness to every sentient beings. Okay, if you practice in the deity yoga, then you try to start seeing everything as a deity, all object, all form, whatever you see as a deity, whatever sound you hear, transform as a mantra. Then it become that way. So that way, Khenpo Rinpoche said, one lady, she said, I'm what called? I'm demon, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm tiger, I'm tiger, I'm tiger. She became tiger. I heard some that kind of story, but I'm not clear with that. So I think when we build some kind of mentally, it become real. Because phenomena as a solid as a what we see right now. Phenomena are not solid as a what we see. For us, it's really solid. You know, everything really exists because we build lots of habitude. That way it become. Make sense? So I think that is how we're building habitual tendency with the phenomena. Okay, so that is the first of the how to free our mind from the obstacle of the path. There's four obstacle we're talking. Yeah? First one is no. Yeah, within the path. Yes, aggregate. Five aggregate. So the Mara of the aggregate. There's a four Mara, Mara of the aggregate. What is this? What is the second Mara? Yes, afflicted emotion you mentioned earlier. Afflicted emotion. So Mara of the skanda become an obstacle of the our what called non-remainder liberation. Now, what is the Mara of the afflicted emotion? Yes. Skanda or afflicted emotion as a we call the obscuration of the liberation. Yeah, it's called Mara because it's obscure for our liberation. Why? Long as we have afflicted emotion, we never be liberated. It means we never be free from suffering. It's just a stay circle. Like we get angry. When we are angry, our judgment is really poor. Makes sense? We easily make mistake when we're angry. Because when we make mistake, you cannot avoid the consequences. Yeah. So when you get consequences, you get mad. Well, for me, why I, then we get mad. So we just circle with that. So long as we have afflicting emotion, we are not liberated. So that reason saying samara of the afflicting emotion as a obstacle to the liberation. Root from which as ocean of the samsara arise, the three afflicted emotion, when increasing in power, they devastate oneself and other altogether. So, root of the ocean of samsara. Samsara is like an ocean. This is the old times language. Now, ocean is not difficult to cross. Yeah, boat, airplane. We need a better idea, a better example actually. Buddhist time, no many people that much can cross the ocean. So said, samsara is like ocean. No one can cross. Now, ocean is really easy to cross. Every day people cross the ocean, yeah? So that example is already kind of like, useless. So I don't know what good example now. Yeah, but moon already been there, people. So it's not that impossible to cross. Also, you know.
Still have a hard crossing up.
Yeah, without boat.
Right.
Yeah. So that is an example. Is why it's called the ocean of samsara. Is we're saying samsara is like ocean, vast, big, nobody can cross easily. So in old time they say ocean is like endless water. Yeah, in old example. So this is I mean really old example. Before all those technology, so you have to be a little bit, patient with that. So what is mm, the three affect emotion when increasing in power? It means that whenever we have three affect emotion, ignorance, attachment, and aversions. Those called the three afflicting emotion. In Tibetan, we call the three poison, duksung, three poisons. Like when we take the poison, it take our life, kill our life. Yeah. Same thing as these three kill our life of liberation, life of freedom. Make sense? For that reason, it's named as a poison. Afflicted emotions. I think afflicted means the suffering, yeah, in English, which make you suffering. They devastate oneself and another altogether. So when we have afflicted emotion, we make ourselves, of course, uncomfortable. Same time, our family and friend. When we get angry, attachment or aversion, any kind of afflictive emotion arise, not just only disturb our own mind, we disturb around us. So that we're saying is devastate oneself and others altogether. In general, the practice Lord of Muni, protector, Lord of Muni, taught the three basket, the four class of tantra, the 84,000 hips of dharma. These countless teaching are or antidote for the three poison of affliction. Buddha taught the three basket. You know what is the three basket? Yes. So those called the three basket. Reason is it there's a three affiliate emotion. So I think Dharma is basically we divide it into two, called the Dharma of the literature and Dharma of the realization. Dharma of the literature is like Boni said, is a three basket: Vinaya, Abhidharma, and Sutra. But just in the Buddhism, is not about to show or not about to just talk. Buddhism is about how to practice. So, and we have to learn how to practice them. Make sense? So they call the three training. Have you heard the three training? That's yes, that is called the Dharma of the realization. And all the Buddhist teachings, there is mentioned 84,000 hips. Yeah, that's a large. Until now, nobody know exactly what is hips size. Really, each text mentioned different way. Except there is one Vasubandhu said. What Vasubandhu said is a one complete antidote of the one afflicted emotion is a one hips of Dharma. So otherwise, hips. Some say one sutra said actually, whole earth become hypothetically whole earth are paper, all the forests are pen, and all the ocean are ink. When somebody write on them, when they finish, paper, ink, and ink about ocean and pen about forest, that is one hips of Dharma. So there are no way to we can actually get that. So and that is only for one, and there's a talking about the 84,000. Forget about that. Understand? Even we couldn't finish one lifetime reading. So we need somehow simple way because human life is short. We need a simple way to put them together to practice. Make sense? So how to practice is a really simple actually. Those three baskets is called the three trainings. First is called the training of the morality. We need discipline because I think you all have instruction on the meditation, so you know this why we need discipline. Training of the morality is a discipline of the body and speech. Because without the support of the body and speech of the training of the morality, it is really difficult to meditate of the training of the samadhi. When we want to meditate, definitely our mind need support from the body and speech. When our body is too busy for anything, you cannot concentrate. When our body is too weak, you cannot concentrate. You need a body is really good, healthy to support the meditation for the mind. So that way, training of the morality is the how to discipline the body and speech. So that way you can meditate. Samadhi is called the training of the samadhi, yeah, training of the meditation. When we have this training of the samadhi or meditative concentration, then finally we can have some kind of sense of understand. That's called the training of the wisdom. Like when we go to school, you need good discipline. If you have a good discipline, then you can listen, focus what teacher saying. So your discipline is the training of the morality. Then you can have a focus that teacher, what teacher is teaching. That is training of the samadhi. Through the discipline and the focus, you may learn something. That is wisdom. Make sense? So another way is when we discipline our mind and our body, our awareness is becoming better. Make sense? Like when you really want to think something, then you need the rest of people be a little bit quiet, and you go to somewhere to a little bit quiet, yeah? You don't want to go to the middle of the crowd, a noisy crowd, for think some idea. So we have one joke in Tibet. One guy, his wife always complained to him, and he says, telling to him, "You don't have brain to think. You're really told this guy." One day he put a thick blanket on his head, just sit corner there. Then his wife said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm thinking." I think it's really help when you have lack of distract. Actually, you can think better. So simple way is when you discipline body and speech, you can discipline the mind. When you discipline the mind, your awareness is much better. So those three, that reason called that three trainings: training of the morality, training of the wisdom, training of the samadhi. Now, training of the morality is the antidote of the afflictive emotion of attachment. Three poison. So that reason Buddha taught what called the Vinaya, how to cut the attachment.